Bob Cafaro was enjoying a successful career as a professional cellist with the Philadelphia Orchestra when at the age of 40 he started to get numbness in his leg. 2 months later he started to lose peripheral vision in his left eye. Then, in 1999, he was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis and doctors found 3 lesions on his spinal cord. Then he started to lose the peripheral vision in his right eye. After being given intravenous steroids, Bob says this was when everything went off the edge of a cliff. He started to get severe motion sickness and was vomiting so much that he couldn't keep anything down. He was admitted to the hospital with dehydration. The disease had now taken over his whole nervous system. He was totally incapacitated, couldn't use his hands, legally blind in both eyes, incontinent and couldn't walk. He couldn't even line up 4 fingers on one string of his cello, and he found he had no control over his muscles. It was at this point that Bob contemplated suicide. He had over 50 active lesions in his brain, and 1 lesion on his spinal cord that was over 3.5 centimetres in length, which cut off his entire central nervous system from his brain. Bob's neuro-ophthalmologist told him he would be on permanent disability and handed him a prescription for an antidepressant to help him cope with the loss of his profession, his livelihood, his passion, and his independent existence. Bob told the doctor to take that disability letter and use it as a suppository, and proclaimed that he'd be back in the orchestra in 6 weeks, and that he was going to beat MS. With limited eyesight, he got on the computer, and making the font as big as he could, he started researching. First, he came across Dr. Batman Gellige's information on the water cure, Your Body's Many Cries for Water, and started drinking half his body weight in ounces per day. So he drank 80 ounces of water every day, and he started to feel a bit better. Amazingly, he did go back to work, but he could hardly move his hands and hardly see the music. He studied MS rates around the world and honed in on the fact that Japan had very low rates of MS, which then led him to look at the Okinawan diet and the Okinawan centenarian study. He also studied Dr. Roy Swank's work and the MS diet book, and went a step further and went on a 100% raw vegan diet, eating lots of watercress and cutting out caffeine. He also started looking into the placebo effect and how powerfully our mind can control our body. He began meditating commands for 30 minutes twice a day. For example, using commands such as, "My MS is going into remission. It is leaving my body. I can feel the lesions healing. I know the disease will leave my body." He did this every day for 2 years. He would envision those things happening on video clips in his head, watching videos of the lesions disappearing in his brain, and watching videos of his brain finding new pathways to his muscles. He also studied the lives of people who accomplished the impossible. He started cycling 11.2 miles from New Jersey to Philadelphia every day, no matter how he felt. He committed to a 24/7 regimen to overcome the disease. Then, in 2013, after being symptom-free for a decade, he had MRIs that confirmed that all 53 brain lesions and several spinal lesions were gone. His neurologist exclaimed, "You have done the impossible." He got the use of his arms, hands and legs back, and his eyesight returned. In 2015, Bob published his story in a book titled When the Music Stopped: My Battle and Victory Against MS. Links to buy the book are in the description below, along with the link to Bob's website. In 2017, he gave an extremely moving and profound TED Talk, which had the most incredible ending. So this is also how we will end this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below and subscribe for more upcoming videos.